Hey students, welcome to IMS online classes. Okay, so I hope you might be eager to know a little bit more about heat after the last video. Okay, in the last video we are discussing about heat, then temperature. Okay, then we are discussing about the temperature of different objects. Now, if let's recall the last example. What we took, three different things, right? We took nearly an ice cream bar, normal water, okay, then a cup of tea or coffee, right? Then boiling water. Boiling water. Okay. Now, uh, if you recall that, as I've said earlier, the normal body temperature is around 37 degree Celsius, or which is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. The boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. Freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. Similarly, if you try to measure this thing, normal water would be how much? Around you can take to be 15, and it will come around 15 to 20 degree Celsius. Okay, normal water. Ice cream is quite less, right? It will come around 6 degrees Fahrenheit. That is, this temperature will come in. If you convert it into Celsius, it will come in negative. Okay, cup of tea or coffee, it will come around 60 to 70 degree Celsius. Okay, boiling water, we know the boiling point of water is 100 degree Celsius. Again, if you take the flame of a candle flame, okay, the flame of a candle is even hotter than this, right? It is even hotter than the boiling water. The temperature of the candle flame is around 600 degrees Celsius. Okay, so we know that temperature is used to measure the degree of hotness of what? So how do we measure temperature? Okay, the question is, how do we find out that this is the temperature of this object? Okay, the answer is simple. The measurement is done by using a device called thermometer. So what's a thermometer? Thermometer actually is a device, or you can say as instrument. Which is used to measure temperature. Temperature. Okay. So thermometer is a device or instrument which is used to measure temperature. So in this video, we are going to study about different types of thermometer and how does it, what are the different parts of thermometer and how does it works. Okay. So stay tuned. We'll just study, or we'll just know about the working of thermometer. Okay. So now let's study about some of the parts of the thermometer. Okay. So basically, what you can see here, this is a basic structure of a thermometer. Although it's not exactly the same, but thermometer is kind of same. There are different types of thermometers. Mostly, two different types of thermometers are used. First is clinical thermometer. Okay. Then other is laboratory thermometer. Two different types of thermometers are used based upon the uses. Okay, how they are used. Two different types of thermometers exist: clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. Okay, so first we are going to see about clinical thermometer. Means those are that thermometer that are used in the clinic. Okay, so this diagram, what you can see here, is basically an replica, okay, or a sketch of a clinical thermometer. So clinical thermometer basically it contains a long glass tube. Okay, it is made up of a long glass tube. Okay, tube made up of glass, long glass tube. Okay, in mid, you can see some numbers, right? So it is what you can say. Some numbers are printed there, measured. Okay, some numbers are kept in that glass tube or inscribed so that it will be easier to check the readings. Then at the tip of the thermometer, at the tip of the clinical thermometer, there is a metallic bulb. Okay, there is a metallic bulb which is made up of a metal, and here it contains a liquid. This metallic bulb, it actually contains a liquid. And what is that liquid? That mostly it is mercury. Okay, mercury, which is a metal. Okay, so mercury is the only metal which is liquid at room temperature, and this liquid is present in this metallic bulb. Okay, then it contains a small this triangular portion. This is called as kink. Okay, and it's called as kink. Don't worry, we will study about each of its function when we will study about the working of the clinical thermometer. So it contains a small kink. Then inside the glass tube, a small canal type structure will be there so that the mercury can pass through it. Okay, so this mercury which is present is a shiny liquid, a very shiny liquid. Okay, and it moves through this canal type part and it shows the readings. Okay, it shows the reading. So these are the different parts of the clinical thermometer. Okay, so let's move on to how this clinical thermometer actually works. So suppose someone is suffering from fever, someone is down with fever, and that person went to a clinic or to a hospital. So the doctor, they put a thermometer inside below the tongue, right? The thermometer, okay? So mostly this metallic bulb is kept under the thermometer, right? Sorry, this metallic bulb is actually kept under the tongue. Now this metallic bulb, it actually contains the metal mercury. So since metals are good conductor of heat, this metallic bulb will absorb the heat from the body and it will transfer it into the liquid. The heat will be transferred to the liquid. And metals, they have a property, that is, whenever they get heat, they will expand. Okay, they will stretch. So mostly mercury, since mercury is a metal, it will expand quite quickly. So it is used here. So when the mercury metal, when it will receive the heat, it will expand. Okay, so depending upon the amount of heat it receives, it will expand to a level, to a height, and at that point the exact measurement can be seen. Okay, so this is the role of the metallic bulb. So mercury is also understood. Now kink, as I was saying, that this kink, this is a special feature which is not found in the laboratory thermometer, which is exclusive for the clinical thermometer. Why is that? You might have seen when a doctor is going to measure the temperature of a person, at first he gives a jerk to the thermometer, right? He just gives a jerk. Why is that? So that the mercury directly settles down in its actual place. So what happens when you have to take the temperature there, when you have to take the reading about the temperature of a person? What you will do? Generally, you have to remove the thermometer and then only you will see what the reading is. Okay, so this kink, it allows the mercury to stay in its place. Okay, it does not allow the mercury to move. It allows the mercury to stay in its place once it moves. Okay, so by this, what happens? Whenever the thermometer is removed from the person's body, the mercury will stay in its place until a jerk is given to it. So taking the reading will be easier. Understood? So what would have happened if there was no kink? In the absence of the kink, as soon as the thermometer is removed from the mouth of the person, suddenly the mercury will again start dropping down. Okay, since the temperature will decrease, so the exact body temperature can't be measured. Okay, so this is how clinical thermometer works. Now let's see how the measurement is taken in a clinical thermometer. So next is how to read a thermometer. That is how to take the correct measurement in case of a clinical thermometer. If you see, in case of a clinical thermometer, the readings, as you can starts from 35 and ends at 42. Okay, it doesn't start with 0. Rather, the range is 35 to 42, and the measurements for the clinical thermometer is in Celsius, or we can say degrees centigrade. So 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius is the range for a clinical thermometer. Well, you may ask, or you might think that why the range is from 35, not from 0. Well, the reason is the normal body temperature for human beings is 37 degrees Celsius, right? So this part is the normal body temperature on an average. So the body temperature, if it goes below 35 or if it goes above 42, in both these cases, there is hardly any possibility that that person will survive. Okay, means our body temperature can't, on any case, cannot go below 35 degree if you are alive. Okay, below 35, or it can go above 42. Otherwise, the condition will be extremely severe, or you can say the person will be alive or something. So the range is kept between 35 to 42. Okay, so we understood how it works, right? So basically, when this metallic bulb is kept under the mouth, the metal expands and it goes to a point. So how to read and what is the exact temperature? So as you can see, between two numbers there are some lines, right? So each number represents the corresponding temperature in Celsius. So between two numbers there are lines. So in this case there are 10 different lines. Okay. So 10 lines equals to 1 degree Celsius. So 10 lines equals to 1 degree Celsius. So one line will be how much? 0.1 degree Celsius. Okay. So that is, if you take, suppose this is the inner cylindrical structure where the metallic bulb is rising. So suppose this is 38. Okay, and this is 30. This is 39. Okay, so if the mercury has risen up to this much, this temperature. So how much? 38. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines. So the temperature here in this case it will be 38.4 degree Celsius. Okay. Understood? Okay, I'm repeating again. So it is not measured when the thermometer is inside the mouth of the person. First, the thermometer is removed, then keep it close to your eye and see what is the height of the mercury. Then at that point, take the reading. Okay, if it has done 4 points, so 38.4. 2 points, if it has done only 2 lines, then 38.2. If it has gone beyond this one here, 6 lines, so it will have been 38.6 degree Celsius. So like this, the temperature is measured. But the thing is that mostly the problem is in most of the it is not same for all the thermometers. In some thermometers, between two, okay, in some thermometers, what happens between any 2 degrees, 2 numbers, instead of 10, sometimes 5 lines exist. Okay, so we can say it will be like that in this case. Okay, suppose if the reading, okay, the measurement is given like this, 38 to 39. So how much line? 5 lines is given. So in that case, it will be how much? 5 lines equals to 1 degree Celsius. So one line will be how much? How much? 1 by 5, that is 0.2 degree Celsius. So in this case, how much is given? If it is given 2 lines, so it will be how much? 38. 2 lines, 1 is 0.2. 2 means 0.2 into 2, that is 0.4. So it will be 38.4 degree Celsius. Understood? Okay. So this is how the measurement is taken for a clinical thermometer. Okay. Now let us see some of the precautions that we have to take care while handling the clinical thermometer. Okay. Ready? So next is some precautions that you have to take while using a clinical thermometer. Okay. First is you have to handle it very carefully to prevent breaking. The thing is, since it is made up of glass, it can break if it gets hit or if it falls down on the ground. Okay, so it might be a problem because the liquid that is present inside the thermometer, which is mercury, right, is a very poisonous metal. Okay, so if it goes inside the body, it can cause very much harmful effects. So that's why nowadays in some thermometers, instead of mercury, alcohols are used. Okay, and now digital thermometers has also taken place of the clinical thermometers, which does not contain any mercury, so it is quite easy to measure the temperature. So this is one of the precautions. Then you need to wash the thermometer before and after use. So generally, since the thermometer is kept inside a person's mouth, okay, so there is a high possibility that high possibility of contamination if it isn't washed properly. Okay, if a person is suffering from some contamination, some communicable disease, then the disease can transfer to another healthy person if they use the same thermometer without proper cleaning. So you need to wash the thermometer before and after use, and also proper care must be taken while washing the thermometer, because as you have seen, in case of a clinical thermometer, the range is from 35 to 42. So the thermometer should not be washed in very cold water or very hot water. Rather, normal water or slightly warm water you can use, but normal water is preferred. Okay, then before using the thermometer, give a small jerk to it and carefully observe that the height of the mercury has fallen below 35 degree Celsius. Below 35 degree. Then only the measurement will be accurate. Okay. Then while taking the measurement, you should keep the thermometer at the eye level and take the reading. So there won't be any parallax error in this case. Then while taking the measurement, you should take utmost care not to touch the metallic bulb. Okay, if you do so, what will happen? If you touch the metallic bulb, rather than showing the temperature of the person, the thermometer will show the temperature of your hand. So it won't work properly, right? That reading won't work. So that's why it is necessary to take this following precautions. Understood? Now, so this is about clinical thermometer. Let's move on to laboratory thermometer. Okay. So next is laboratory thermometer. Unlike the clinical thermometer, laboratory thermometer has quite a high range. Okay, laboratory thermometer can measure from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Okay, so using a laboratory thermometer, you can measure anything and quite everything. So let me show you. Okay, so this is a laboratory. What you can see here is a laboratory thermometer. Okay, the measurement in this case is given in degree Celsius. The red portion, what you see here, is actually the bulb. Okay, it contains the mercury liquid. Okay, and it rises inside. Okay, let me bring a little bit closer to you so you can see it clearly. This is a laboratory thermometer. You can see it's quite big. Okay, clinical thermometer mostly is quite little, half of this. Okay, it is quite big. This thermometer, okay, its measurement is taken in degree Celsius. Okay, and here I have another thermometer. Okay, the same is also a laboratory thermometer only. Okay, but the difference is here the measurement is given in degree Fahrenheit. Okay, from 0 degree Fahrenheit to around 200 degree. From 0 degree to it is given up to 200 degree Fahrenheit is measured. So this is a laboratory thermometer. You can see it here, a little bit close. Okay, and this part, what you can see here, is the metallic bulb. It contains the mercury. Okay. Now, if you try to think that how shiny mercury can be, you can see at this portion. Okay, mercury is quite silver, has a silver appearance, just like this metallic bulb. Okay, so laboratory thermometer has a range of around minus 10 degree to 110 degrees Celsius. In Fahrenheit, as we saw, it is from 0 degree to 200 degree Fahrenheit. So it can be used to measure anything and everything, but mostly it is used to measure different things. Suppose, so there might be a question, right? Why there was a need to make laboratory thermometer? Well, the answer is simple. Because body temperature isn't the only thing that we measure. We also measure the temperature of a place, right? In the morning, what is the temperature? In the night, temperature of different chemicals, different things, right? In news, in the weather report, you can see the temperature of most popular places, okay, of your own town also you can see. They will show you the highest temperature and also the lowest temperature. In this case, the clinical thermometer can be used in that case, right? Because sometimes the temperature can go above 42 degrees Celsius also. That in that case, clinical thermometer won't work. And similarly, it can go below 35 degree also. So there also is a problem. So there is a need to make this laboratory thermometer that can be used to measure anything and everything. Since the range is between -10 to 110 degrees Celsius, it sometimes it can be used also to measure the body temperature. But although it is not recommended to use this one. Why is that? Soon we will know. Okay. Now, laboratory thermometer is also the structure is quite same to that of a clinical thermometer. It is also made up of a long cylindrical glass tube containing a metallic bulb. The difference is here. In this case, there is no kink. In laboratory thermometer, there is no kink present, and there are some conditions to use the laboratory thermometer. Okay, first is the laboratory thermometer should be kept upright. Okay, when you are measuring it, you should not keep it horizontally or in an angle, making an angle model. It should be kept upright, or sometimes it is used to keep in a stand which holds it in its place. Then also, while taking the measurement for a laboratory thermometer, the measurement should be taken when the thermometer is in contact with the substance. Okay. Unlike the clinical thermometer, in clinical thermometer, what we used to do? We used to take the thermometer out of the tongue and we used to see what is the measurement, right? But in this case, we can't do that. In case of a laboratory thermometer, you can take the measurement when the object is when the thermometer is in the object, when it is present inside the object. Okay. Why is it that? Because since there is no kink, as soon as if you remove the thermometer from the substance, and it will come in contact with the atmosphere and it will show the temperature of the atmosphere. The mercury may fall or rise. It will show different measurement than the temperature of the substance. Okay. So this is how you can take measurement in case of a laboratory thermometer. And it is also there is also some precautions, just like the clinical thermometer. The precautions are also quite same. Okay, you should handle it very much carefully because it is also made up of glass. It can break, and medicines metal, mercury is poisonous. It can cause any harmful effects. Then you need to wash the thermometer properly before and after using. Then one more important precaution that we have to take in case of using a laboratory thermometer is that it should not touch the bottom of the container. Okay, it should not touch the bottom of the container. The reason is quite same, because if it does like that, then it will show the temperature of the container rather than the substance present in the container. Okay, so these are some of the precautions that you have to take while using a laboratory thermometer. Okay, so this is about different kind of thermometers and how to take measurement using them. I hope you have learned quite some things. Okay, so this is for now.